Hello.
Hi.
How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
Who are we?
Welcome to Two Tangled Skeins. I'm Sue, also known as Crafty Knitter 7. I would like to welcome any new and returning viewers. We are at 1,551 members.
Oh, fun. Hello.
And today is Saturday, May 7th, and this is episode 157.
I need to ask where February, March, and April
Is
went.
it? I thought last week was 157.
Oh, maybe it's 158. Sorry.
Somewhere around there.
I'm probably wrong. Don't listen
No,
to
it's
me.
probably 158, and I probably just didn't change it.
Because I was telling a friend of mine who is at a yarn festival in the Okanagan Valley that, no, Maryland opens at 9 o'clock this morning. And I'm like, yeah, that's totally not the festival you're at, so it doesn't matter. She's,
yes, it's 158.
Ha! I was right for once. Had to happen sooner or later.
Eventually, it does.
I'm Lynn, also known as Tell Baby. You can find us on Facebook, our blog, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram.
And I'm Selma123, and you can also find us on Ravelry. We have a group called the Two Tangled Skeins. Come and join if you're not a member yet.
That's where all the fun is.
Because there's lots of insanity.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. So how are things?
I'm glad it's Saturday.
And how's the kitty?
The kitty.
You want to give an update?
I will give an update because I've gotten a lot of PMs from people. You're all so sweet. She is doing much better. We upped her insulin a week and a half ago, and now her numbers, average number throughout, no matter when we take her blood to test it, is 6.
Which is perfect.
And the other day we took it right after she ate, and it was 5.7.
Yeah,
And
but
I
it's about an hour after she eats that
Yep.
it would be up.
It was lower.
Okay. That's weird.
Half an hour after.
That's really weird.
She must
Or
have
no,
really,
wait, no.
She might have been lower.
No, it was right before she ate. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So we're still waiting for the phone call from the vet because now that the diabetes is under control, we have to deal with the fact that she might have Cushing's because she has all the symptoms.
But she looks, I mean, she's still patchy and bald here and there, but the face, I mean, she looks...
She's still a pain in the rumpus.
But she's a happy pain in the rumpus.
We were sitting here and Selma had yarn over the table and she just kept getting up and going.
I couldn't believe it. She almost grabbed my yarn.
And she's fast.
She took out a skein to give me last week and the cat took off with it.
Yeah, don't ask me about that right now.
Oh, did she
Skein
do it
doesn't
again?
look so pretty.
Maybe.
She really does have a thing, and it's amazing how
But
she
the thing
sneaks up.
is, I closed my door last night when I went to bed. Closed the door. Sean got up in the middle of the night. He could hear some rustling. She was trying to get into my Oreos. And, yeah.
Okay,
Like a
part of
real-
the problem is Sue gives the cat yarn to play with. The cat can't tell between the crappy yarn and the good yarn.
I don't scold her when she takes it. I just
You
run
should.
I run after her. I'm not going to hit her.
Well, no.
No, but you can make your message known.
Trust me, George knows not to go near my yarn.
She's a sick kitty. And it's my own fault, so I don't scold her. I just shake my head and go, what the hell was I thinking? Because the orange cat does not play with yarn, even though I tried to give him
Well,
yarn.
they all have their own habits, right?
Yeah, so that's the update. The other update is my children's grandfather is finally out of the hospital.
Oh, that's great.
It took a little longer because his lung was taking a little longer to heal. He had a hairline incision or split that was just taking forever. So he's finally home now.
Did you tell people last week? I can't remember.
No, I forgot.
What had happened.
No, I told people the week before.
Okay.
Yeah, I've already mentioned it. So he's doing much better, and he is no longer working because he was working part-time as a handyman at a hotel or a motel. Motel's the one that you walk, you have your own door, right?
Yeah.
He was a handyman at a motel because he's the kind of guy that just can't sit and do nothing.
Well, he's going to have to find some things he can do while sitting.
It was doctor recommended that he does not go back to work.
If he's over 65, he can go to university tuition free.
He's 74.
There you go.
So
Tell him he can go to university and you learn all kinds of useless stuff.
That is what I want to do when I retire. That and
That's
work
what
in a
my mom
library.
wanted to do when she retired, but she's never done it.
it's really hard for him too because while he was in the hospital, their grandmother couldn't visit because she was really sick. So they went for a week and a half without seeing each other. They've been together for 51 years. This is the longest they've been apart. Yeah,
Oh,
doesn't
my
that just...
goodness.
I know. And he was crying and all emotional.
Oh,
and,
man.
you know, those two have had an excellent relationship. So, anyway, how about you?
Irony. Sorry.
Why?
We won't go there.
Never mind.
Their son.
Oh! I'm not even going to go there.
Exactly. That's what...
Sorry. A little late on the uptake over here.
Well, my dad's finally back from the hospital, too.
Oh,
so.
he was in the hospital?
Yes, he was.
Again?
My dad's, like, always in it.
I was going to say, again? You just don't tell us anymore.
Nah, well, let's put it this way. I barely got to find out this time.
So he was out quickly, or no?
Well, they weren't sure what to do with him because they didn't know what was wrong, and they still don't know what was wrong, but they fixed it, so...
Okay.
Was it diabetes related, or?
Oh, most likely. He basically... He's been acting a lot more confused lately, and I strongly suspect he's had another stroke, but for some reason this has not been looked into, and
because why would they listen to you? Because you're almost right
well,
every
you know
time.
what? It's
ever
very
listens
difficult
to me.
It's very difficult for them to know
But
about that. You mean
basically he
the
was
family.
acting really confused, and he went outside and was apparently planning on going to the corner store, which is odd because my dad has not been to a corner store since he quit smoking 15 years ago. He does not go to corner stores.
No.
So it was he went outside to go to the corner store, and he came back inside because he couldn't figure out where the car was. The car was in the garage, and he couldn't figure out how to open the garage door. So, oh, your husband's trying to fly away. One of the pieces of washi tape came off on the wall.
Oh,
Sean's picture is flapping around
Squirrel!
in the fan.
wow.
So anyway, he comes back into the house and he tells my mom that he can't figure out how to get where the car is, and he wants to go to the corner store, and he really, really wants to go to the corner store. And Mom said then he keeled over and she thought he was dead.
And that's why he ended up in the hospital, or was that after
Yeah.
he came out of the hospital?
No. This is why he ended up in the hospital, because he just fell over and laid there.
Basically, when your
Oh
dad
my
gets to the
gosh.
hospital, they probably call him Norm, like on Cheers.
Pretty much.
Well, and has he had an assessment done?
Oh, all kinds of assessments.
Okay.
He spent almost 6 months in the hospital last year.
That was for his legs, right?
Yeah. He's
No,
had
but-
angioplasty done on both his legs. He's got a lot of neuropathy in his feet and his legs, and like all kinds of problems really related to slightly out of control diabetes.
Well, let's not make this the old parent
No,
episode.
No.
We need you to stay sane.
I need
But
to stay
anyway,
sane.
they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him, so they gave him antibiotics, and that made him better. So they assumed
That's
it
good.
was some kind of infection and sent him
Don't know
home.
what's wrong. Take this.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Okay, my dad is probably the youngest of all our parents. My dad's like 64.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, actually, he just turned 65.
Mm.
But he is like the oldest old man you will ever meet.
Yeah.
When he turned 55, his mentality went old man, and it has never bounced back.
Yeah. I just realized that I made a mistake in my square.
Oh.
I don't know if everybody can see that, but the granny square only has one little leg right here. Do I care?
Yes.
I do?
It's only one row back.
Okay. All right, so should we talk about knitting?
Maybe.
We should. You guys
I don't want to talk about parents anymore.
I was going to say, this is starting to sound like a Jewish family reunion.
Well, you guys have FOs, so I'm just going to sit here
You
and
have
knit.
FOs? What do you got?
What do I got?
Yeah, what do you got?
Okay, all right. So I've got yarn everywhere now.
Sorry, I'm
That's
halfway through
okay.
a row of
So
seed stitch, so.
I'm wearing an FO. Actually, I was trying to remember when I made this FO. Did I keep it open?
You did.
I made this FO in 2013. Finished it in August of 2013, so that makes it almost 3 years old.
It's almost ready for kindergarten.
Like, time flies.
Preschool.
I can't believe I made this 3 years ago because I remember knitting on it. So, like, it was so recently.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this is the Summer Solstice. It's a cardigan, an open cardigan by Heidi Kiermaier. And she's got fantastic designs. So if you're remotely interested in sweater designs, they're often very interesting. And this one's very interesting. I think I might have mentioned it another time. This is a cardigan that you actually do the top portion first, and then you pick up and knit down. So you start at the middle of the back with a provisional cast on, and you knit the back and the sleeve on one side and then the other with decreases.
Kind of like my Marco Polo, just
no, yours is contiguous. It goes down.
Oh,
it's a different kind of. And then you pick up down here to go down, and then you do the button.
Unusual that the decreases are on the top of the sleeve.
Yeah, yeah. So that's how, because it all goes from right up here to down there. I loved it. It was a very, I think I've got one little funny knot or something.
Yeah.
I made this out of a linen by Lang Yarns. It was Lang Lino, which is kind of oh dear, now the word has gone through away from my head. What do you call that? It's not applied yarn. It's like a chainette kind of thing. And which made it a very different linen experience and a great one, I have to say.
It doesn't look like there's any stretch to it.
It does have stretch.
Okay.
But linen can be a funny thing to knit garments with, because it really has no give. It just hangs there, so it's not great for structured garments, and especially like the stuff that's plied. It's like straw, and it's I like knitting with it, but when it's just
if you
linen,
want a really nice drapey garment,
exactly,
don't go with linen.
No, if you want the drapey, go with linen. If you want structure, don't go with linen, because it will not give you structure.
Backwards.
So it's great for drapey types of garments. And there's also a kind of a funny little twist that linen can do. So I find it's often better mixed with other fibers.
Sorry, I should have done this before we
I'm
logged
like,
on.
what?
But this was fantastic. And great design, great construction, great yarn, and I wear it quite often. I like this cardigan a lot. So that's my one FO.
You wear it to work?
I do.
I haven't seen it this year.
Well, now we're getting into spring. Now you'll see it. I don't wear it in the winter because it's linen.
Okay. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Then my next FO. Oh, well, there's
I
also.
didn't think you were finished. You said, and that's my one FO.
Yeah, no,
I was
I
like,
realized
I'm done.
I'm not done.
I'm like, dude, there's 3 in the show notes.
Well, one of them
then
I don't
have
have anymore because it was my Highland Peaks shawl that I was almost finished the last time I was on, and I was doing the lace portion of it. It's a design by Mina Phillip, our Mina 86 on Ravelry. She is our lovely Mina, the host of the Knitting Expat, and a great designer of shawls and socks so far, and hats. And I made the shawl, showed it to my aunt who was visiting from Finland. I said, what do you think of this? She said, oh, it's lovely. I said, well, would you like to have it? Yes. And you know what she was so thrilled about? Because she is a serious maker of all things. She was like, wow, somebody's making something for me. So, what's so funny?
Didn't I tell you what was funny when you told me that story? I went, oh, your aunt sounds a lot like you when we were at the retreat. And I said, oh, you were like, ooh, that cake is really nice. And I'm like, would you like it? Really?
This is not the most flattering shirt when I'm sitting down.
No, but it's a very nice shirt. So anyway, so I blocked it, and she was actually very intrigued by the blocking because I used wires and pins, and she had never used wires. She sort of steam blocks things sort of the more old-fashioned way, and she wore it on the plane home.
Nice.
So I don't have it to show you. There are pictures on my project page. Maybe we can put them in the show notes. And I posted on Instagram as well. But the shawl is now in Finland, being worn by my aunt.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
And then I just finished last night my Fine and Dandy socks. So these are by the Sweater Company, and it's this wonderful slip stitch, essentially. I don't know what you'd call that, because you're actually going down rows and pulling the yarn through.
It's called a
what do you call
that?
that?
I have another pattern that has a stitch like that, and I can't remember what it's called.
And actually, I was using the Progress Keeper that my friend Dana sent me, and this is by the Sweater Company. I used hedgehog fibers that I had swapped with someone, Monique, and I sent her my Into the World. She sent me this wonderful hedgehog yarn in the pistachio colorway.
They actually look like little hedgehogs on the socks.
Well, you know, I was going to call this my pistachio dandies because the colorway is pistachio, But I kept thinking of the desert. It made me feel like they're like desert flowers.
They kind of look like agaves.
Yes, that's exactly. This reminded me of our trip to Arizona. My husband and I went on a belated honeymoon to Arizona.
They're your tequila socks.
Don't drink tequila while you're knitting them.
No.
Anyway, but they worked
Don't
out
drink
well.
tequila while you're knitting, period.
Yeah, no.
Bad
It's a
things
toe
happen.
up pattern, and I didn't do the heel in the pattern. I did the basic gusset heel from Wendy D. Johnson, which is my standard. And really enjoy them. It's great because I've been making myself more socks lately because I realized I only had like 3 or 4 pairs of hand knitted socks, and I wore them all the time, and they were all looking kind of
Scruffy.
worse for wear. Yeah. And one pair has already been darned one time, and the darning's starting to wear. So I thought, this year I think I need to focus on making some socks for myself because I wear them. Well, last week I was still wearing my wool socks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm enjoying.
I wear mine in the summer in the house because the air conditioning.
Well, you've got air conditioning. I don't, so I do not wear my wool socks in the summer. I have fans, and anyway. So
There's
that's
lots
it.
of fans.
And you all whirl. Whirl around. So there you go. Those are my foes.
I have foes.
Yay!
It looks a little crappy because I haven't blocked it yet, but this is one of my foes. Can you grab those 2 corners and pull? Because it doesn't stay stretched out. So this is one of my blanket squares.
That's beautiful.
And it's not anywhere near as tall as it should have been. I should have kept going. But it will stretch, but I should have kept going. There. I knew it stretched well.
Yeah, if we just hold it real hard. Yeah, and you can manipulate that when you block it. It's going to require blocking.
This is the Tracy Bunker square from the Great American Afghan. I actually have the book here. So that's
I love the baubles.
I hate the baubles, but that's because they keep trying to flip to the back side.
No, but they look great.
It looks like a buttoned-up shirt to me.
I guess
Like, it looks like a fancy buttoned-up shirt.
And the color is coming across more bluey. It's sort of a little bit more of a winey purple.
The purple
was
coming out really well the other day.
Yeah, well. It took me... I had a hard time photographing it for Ravelry, just the ball of yarn, because it kept coming out blue.
Yeah, purple's really hard.
So,
red's hard.
Anyway, this is the Great American Afghan. This is the 2007 version. It was the first one they did. From XRX Books, which is also Knitters Magazine. These patterns appeared 2 each month for a year in Knitters Magazine. And it's out of Knit Picks Brava worsted in the Frisia colorway on size 4.5 millimeter, which is US 7 needle. So that's my first bow.
What am I doing?
Sorry if you hear doors slamming and music. My son just came home.
Yeah.
Guess what, everybody? He's home.
And the other thing I finished was the test knit hat that I was doing for T-Gale Designs, our friend Teresa Seasons. I would put it, well, yeah, I suppose I can put it on, but it's too small for me.
Here, you want me to put it on?
Yes, please.
It's got a very interesting construction because
Yes.
it's got this
It's
short
got
row
forehead
thing.
shaping so that it stays put and doesn't move around. It's supposed to be slouchy. I did not get gauge. I'm somewhat ashamed because it's nowhere near big enough.
But it's a cool thing because it will stay on. Which,
yeah, the forehead shaping is really cool. And
Yeah,
it's
it is
really
cool.
easy. So, because it's German short rows. That's what she used for that. And that matches the cinch cowl that I did. So, cinch hat, cinch cowl by T-Gale Designs. It will be released very, very shortly.
Yeah, so if you're the kind of person who wants a slouchy hat but hates the fact that they always slip back.
I think
This.
part of it was that I used a yarn that Ravelry called bulky. And the company called bulky, but it's really just worsted. It's not really that bulky. It was a lot bulkier in the ball, but as you knit with it, it thins out because it's a chain. As you like you were saying about your other yarn, it's a chain. It's a chain. It's not applied yarn, and it stretches like
You're right.
It
It
thins out
lengthens.
quite a bit when you knit with it. So I think that's where I went wrong, was that it was really not the right yarn for the project. But it turned out pretty good, and the blocked cowl turned out very nice. And so anyway, that will be released probably next week. It is the cinch hat and cowl. They're 2 separate patterns. And I did them out of Yes, it's just a little far away. SMC Select Silk Wool in color 7193, which is gray. On size 5mm, which is a US 8, and 6mm, which is a US 10. And I'm thinking if I had used a truly bulky yarn, it would have been just fine. So
Yeah.
I plan on trying it again with some actual bulky on my stash. But this is gorgeous. Like, it's very soft stuff. It's very nice. But yeah, I wouldn't use it in a pattern that calls for bulky again. The hat is a little bit scratchier than the cowl because I haven't washed the hat yet. I finished it last night. Brought it to knit night, tossed it at Teresa, and she was like, "Eee!" So
Because Friday you were like, oh darn, I gotta finish something.
Thursday, I
On
was
Thursday.
like, I totally forgot to finish this hat for her test knit, and the deadline is tomorrow, so
You got it
like
done,
actually tomorrow. So
Sunday.
it got done.
Yes.
Yes. It got done, and she will be releasing it, and everybody's happy. So there we
Are
go.
they paid for patterns?
They will be paid for patterns, yes. Because you can tell just by looking the
Yeah, it's
shaping
got that
of
curve.
it, and it's got this curve to the front of it, and it's really nifty. So I'm gonna see if it fits my mother.
Mm-hmm.
If it fits my mother, she'll have a new hat because unfortunately, and poor Teresa, because it comes in two versions. The hat you can either do a single brim, which is what I did, or you can do a double brim that is folded over, so it's double thickness on your ears to keep your ears warm. And she was like, I'll modify it to be single brim for you, because she knows that I don't wear hats because I'm always too hot. Thing is, it's not because my ears that I'm always too hot, it's just I retain all my heat right here. So in the summertime it's awful because I'll go for a walk or something and you will touch the top of my head and you can burn your hand. It's fun. It's not so bad now that I've started going gray. I started going gray 20 years ago. It's not so bad now that I have a lot of gray hair. But yeah, when I was a kid, you could literally burn your hand on my head.
Well, and the thing about gray hair, it also has a different structure to
Texture,
it.
yeah.
So I don't think it retains water and heat and other stuff as much.
Probably not.
You know?
So that's all my clothes.
Right on.
What you working on, Sue? She's
Woo!
mid-row.
I'm trying to get to
Okay.
the end of the row. Somebody else go, please.
What you working on, Selma?
Well,
Because yours is easy.
I finished the Fine and Dandy socks last night, and I'm like, geez, I've got some things kind of started, but what do I want to work on next? So, two things. I hadn't worked on my daughter's crochet blanket in a very long time. So I thought, I've been wanting to bring it out, and I thought, this is it. It's time to bring it out. Since the last time I showed it, which was months ago, I've only put one square on.
You go through
There
phases
it
with
is.
them.
And this is actually a yarn by Juliana's Fiber. It's her gradient yarn, and it ended up in the blanket. And so my goal actually was to have a row put on before today, but that just didn't
Nope.
happen. I haven't had as much time to knit
Oh, is that the Storm of the Century stuff?
because I have been sewing. But we'll talk about that later. So, but here's the blanket at this point.
Wow.
Because there's more.
It's my daughter can wrap herself up in it, but I want it to be sort of a single bed size. So
Yeah. Sort of like a
and
bedspread.
I have enough minis now. Got lots and lots and lots of minis, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, so I'm really motivated to get this done, and I think my daughter, she actually mentioned last week or something like, she's like, "Oh, are you going to finish my blanket, Mummy?" I was like, "Actually, I've been thinking about that." So her birthday's in November. Her birthday's in November. That is Malabrigo. There's all
okay,
kinds
it's
of
not the
stuff
one I
in
thought it
here.
was.
All kinds of different yarns that people have given me
That one's mine.
or that I've used. And I can't even remember them all anymore. And I have not been nearly as methodical as Lynn over here and written things down, but it's
I
great.
recognize that one. That was my socks, I think.
Yes, you gave that to me.
Yep, that's my socks.
And there are lots of things that I've used in here. So anyway, I'm crocheting that and I'm adding the squares as I go along so that I just have the ends to do, which will be a few evenings worth, I'm sure.
See, I'm weaving in my ends.
I wish I had started that way, and I keep thinking that I should
It's
start
not as
doing
bad
it.
with crochet, though.
No. but I'm attaching them as I go, which is great, so I don't have to do that at the end. And yeah, so hopefully next time when I come back on in the next 2 or 3 weeks, there will be a new row that I can show off.
Mm-hmm.
That's the intention. And I'm doing that on, I think they're 3mm, a 3mm. I love the prim needles.
Yes.
Yeah,
those are my favorites.
You wrote 3.
Yeah, it's a 3mm. It's just got a nice grip to it. It's really easy to hold.
And they're cheap
gonna throw
too.
that-
They're like $3.50 each.
Yeah.
Unlike the Addy
On the floor it goes.
ergonomic ones that are like $20 and they're really not comfortable. Actually, I gave my mom my Addy one because I didn't like crocheting with
These
it.
are very, very comfortable. So yeah, so today I'm working on a square because I'm at the point with this pair of socks. Ooh! This is the bag that the Gamer Widows, Amy, sent us. And by the way, I
Emma,
love... Huh?
Is it Amy or Emma? That
Oh,
was
sorry.
Emma.
Sorry. Come on. Hi.
Got your back, Emma.
And I was going to say, I love those tees.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good teas. Really enjoyed. I've enjoyed all of them. Really interesting
I had
combination.
the lemongrass, lime, and ginger one the other day. Oh, so good.
Yeah, and there was a pear one that I really liked. It was
I've been saving that one.
It's really lovely. And then there's black green with spearmint and bergamot, which I really love.
What's bergamot?
Bergamot
It's
is what's
the
used
stuff
to
that's
make
in
Earl Grey.
Okay.
Yeah, and
It's a little purple flower.
and just lovely, lovely teas. And I really was looking
From a
forward
company called Madame
to using
Flavor.
your bag because it's just such a cool construction. So in here, I have a new pair of socks.
We were talking, was it yesterday at
What a
lunch?
surprise.
Yeah, yesterday at lunch, she's like, what should I do next? I'm like, well, you
Socks.
definitely need to go with the blanket, and you need socks on the needles. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And
And-
ironically,
Hey, yeah! They're called My Cup of Tea socks. Can't really see it, but it's got, I'm not quite sure what this is a pretty traditional, not lace, but kind of textured stitch on this pattern. And I haven't started yet, so I can't really show you. I'm just at the toe. And I'm using my Fondant Fibers yarn that I got last fall. And really couldn't wait. And actually, I've decided to call this Oolong with Cherries and Lime because it's kind of a tea-colored yarn.
Sorry.
Are we keeping you awake, darling?
I've been up since 6.
It's sort of a tea-colored yarn that's got little flecks of green and little flecks of,
I'll put
of
the camera
red.
closer next time.
And so this is the Fondant Fibers that I bought. That was, oh my goodness, what was it called? I think it was called the Yorkshire Finest. And hello. And the colorway, yeah, it was Yorkshire Finest. It's a 4-ply with British wool, BFL, and nylon. And this was the Valum Hadriani colorway. And it's interesting. It's not a super soft yarn, but I can feel that it's going to really soften up when I wash it. And I just love the earthiness of the colorway. And I am trying out Hiya-Hiyas. Sue and I each got a pair of Hiya-Hiyas this week.
Well, I ordered some, and she was like, oh, really?
What about me?
So I contacted at Acme Fibers. I contacted her, and she's like, oh, yeah, I'll stick it in there, and I'll just send you a PayPal invoice. So,
Yeah.
Yep, she was really good.
Yeah, so, and I mean, I have to say, I've knit one row with them, but so far, they're great. So
I do love my Hiya Sharps for my DPNs.
Yeah, and I mean, I had them on my Chogoos, and I love my Chogoos too, but it's great to have different needles.
And now you
They
can do
feel
39.
thicker, even though they're both supposed to be 2.25s. The Hiya feels thicker somehow, and I think it's just that the point is a little different. It's shorter
Yeah,
than the Chogoos, so you sort of get to the
it's less tapered.
to the
yeah.
thicker part of the needle quicker. So
You
that
should do one sock on each and see if you.
oh my. Yeah.
Experimentation.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. Thank you very much for this bag. It's so cool. I just love the construction. And I love the fact that you can, I haven't put anything in here, but I love the fact that you could put,
Darning needles and things. And
yeah,
stitch
or
markers.
some
And
safety pins and stuff like that there. It's such a cool construction.
Yes.
Sorry, there's a big truck outside.
I don't know. Can we hear it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can probably hear it.
If we close the window, it'll be too hot.
Yes.
So those are my whips.
Because it's lovely outside, so. What's the other bag?
Hers.
Oh,
It's
this was the bag that I had made for myself.
Oh.
I call it my girly goth bag. This was
It's
my
super
fine and
cute.
dandy socks were in here, and I just took them out to put them on the blockers. But I've been making more bags, so I'll be showing those off later.
You want to go, Sue?
Sure. Marco Polo.
The heartfelt sigh is important of things to come.
Oh dear.
Oh.
So I got, 14 inches like they said, and well, it's this way. But I finished off the red, and I was like, okay, so next color is white. Wait a minute, I need brown on the bottom. Looked at my picture, and I had marked the stripes wrong on the picture on the pattern. So I tried it on, and I figured I need 12 more rows, because it was just coming to the top of, the bottom of my back, and I was like, that's not long enough. So I gotten quite a bit done this week. You can see my stitch marker. And I have one more row, and then I can start the brown and then start the shaping on the bottom, which I have the pattern right here.
And that's a contiguous construction.
Yes.
So,
Sure.
So in the contiguous construction, I think we've talked about it before, you start with the shoulder. So that's what it looks like.
But I'm doing it in 3 colors.
You start with the shoulder here, and then you start increasing for the sleeve, and you're going down at the same time. So you're creating what looks like a set-in sleeve.
And raglan is when you have the sleeve already at the beginning.
It comes out diagonally.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So this has the set-in sleeve look without actually being a set-in sleeve.
I had no idea. I just followed the pattern.
Yeah, I love all the different constructions of sweaters. There you go.
So that is the Marco Polo by Ella Torrente. It is out of Cascade
Sport.
220 Superwash Sport.
I'm looking for the notes. There it is. On size 4.5 millimeter, which is a US 7. My Frankensocks. Where are my Frankensocks?
Have you been working on your
I
Frankensocks?
did work on them, and now
She must have, because she put them in the show notes.
I did, but they're not there.
What bag are they in?
They're in my the one with the birds.
Owls or birds?
No birds, and they're not there.
Oh well.
So it's not
Do you
that
want to
one.
talk about the next thing?
Yep. You have 2 owl bags.
Huh? What?
You have an owl bag there, and you have an owl bag up there. Never mind.
Okay.
I'll stop here.
I cast on something this week. My nephew and his fiance just had their baby, and I decided I was going to cast on a sweater. Where's the pattern? Oh God, I'm so disorganized today. I decided to make a little man sweater.
So adorable.
The
Which
play
is
date,
the same one I started knitting about a month ago.
which is the play date by
I never
Tin
got
Can
past the
Knits,
neckline.
which is absolutely gorgeous. And so it's a bottom up. So I'm just at the part, I think, where I have to do the pockets. So that's what it looks like.
It's
And
so cute.
I just measured it, and I think I went too far, but I really don't
That's
care.
okay. It really doesn't matter if it's long.
No. And the yarn is Knit Picks Comfy. I don't have the ball band. It's Knit Picks Comfy.
Which is a cotton acrylic blend.
Yeah. And it's on 3.75 millimeters, which is a US 5.
Did you do the ribbing on a US 3?
Yes.
Okay. So also US 3, which is
Yeah.
3.25 millimeters.
And I mean, even though it's cotton, it's a mix of cotton and acrylic because I wanted her to be able to wash it in the machine. It's actually soft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's lovely.
I showed it to Sean today. He's like, yeah, I can tell that's cotton. I'm just like, you just know too much about knitting.
You know too much about knitting.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the Frankensocks are somewhere.
They are.
Have you gotten past the 2 green colors on the one sock?
Yes.
Did you leave
You
them
did,
on?
and what's the next color? Now I really want to know.
Is it more green?
No, it's a mixture, and I don't.
Did you leave them
Sue
in
was
one there?
having a bit of a problem because, or what's the word? Not a problem, but she was a little concerned because there were 2 green bands on one sock, and then the other sock was all colorful.
They're probably
And
linear.
although that's the nature of
I don't get
Frankensocks.
it. I had them just the other day.
Yes, but you have a whole house for your knit.
Should we pause?
No.
Okay.
Look at my butt.
I was going to say, we'll just check out Sue's butt while she's bending over.
She has misplaced. Anyway, so I'm very curious to see what the next color is because
I don't know where they are. I give up.
you'll see them next time.
Oh, sorry.
They are somewhere.
Gratuitous butt.
Somewhere. Frankensocks. They've taken off just like Frankenstein did.
Frankenstein's
They were, like,
monster.
right there yesterday.
Frankenstein didn't take off.
Oh, that's
Monster
right, the
did.
monster. Yeah.
And I'm on my last stitch, so my turn. Ha! I cast this on this morning. As you can tell.
The color's actually coming out really well.
Yep.
That is the color. That 1950s kitchen color.
Now, just to show you, these have to go together. Now, do you see why I put the gray stripe? This is the Sidna Farley square of the Great American Afghan.
Not a quiet, peaceful blanket.
But she chose the colors. I just want that known. I did not pick these. It is the Sidna Farley square. I did 4 of these on the last blanket. And you probably can't see it all that well, but it's just hearts. And it's a knit and purl pattern. I think. What are the... Yeah, it's a slip stitch pattern, so... It is the... For anybody who's been around for a while, you saw 4 of these last year. They're not super exciting.
4 blankets?
4 of these, this square. Because I did the 4 corners in the same square last year.
Right.
The blanket I did. So, it is out of Knit Picks Bravo Worsted in the Tranquil colorway. Yeah. Somehow those
Really
3
not
colors
tranquil.
together, not tranquil. But anyway, so, and it is on 4.5 millimeter needles, which is US 7. And that's about it for that one. I literally cast on this morning and started doing the ribbing. Well, I decided that I was going to do garter stitch edging for the purple squares and seed stitch for because I had already started doing seed stitch for these, and the idea of doing 36 squares in seed stitch just... So because there are more purple squares, I decided to do garter with those. I also cast on... Can you tell I didn't work on anything I already had on the needles this week? I also cast on...
Along with how many other people?
Wait, you had... Is this the green that you started another sweater with?
Yes.
Okay. And you just...
Now I have cast on the... What's it called?
Mama.
The Mama Vertebrae.
For you?
By Kelly Brooker. Yes, it's for me. Almost our entire VK... Well, okay, 5 people in our VKing group, me included, have cast this on this week. Sarah of the Canadian Knitter Podcast, Amanda of the Stitching You and More Podcast, Jen of the Uncreative Crafter Podcast, our friend Brandy cast this on, and Tanya's going to be casting on a baby vertebrae.
I thought Mandy cast one on too.
Yes, I'm sorry, Mandy of the Mandy Pinecone
And
Crafts.
Jess.
Did Jess also cast one on?
I thought Jess cast one on too.
Jess, did you?
Everybody.
Anyway, Jessica of the Saranova Crafts podcast may have cast one on as
I'm
well.
not on that train.
We're clearly rebels.
I don't like that sweater myself, but
I love
it's a
it.
preference thing.
Because it's supposed to come, like it's a cardigan, and it's supposed to just,
Kinda like
cover
this
your,
one.
your back. Yeah, it's not supposed to come around the front, and although this one probably will because it's ginormous.
Yeah, so
I'm
if
getting
you're-
it on bulky instead
I
of
need
worsted,
to
so it's
close
going to
mine.
be huge.
I just have issues with that.
See, I get too hot, so I like them when they're open in the front. Plus,
Yeah.
well, then you can see my boobs.
That's one reason I don't like it.
I guess
really
it
need
depends
to
on
show
what
off
you
my
want to
boobs.
emphasize.
It would emphasize them a little too much.
No such thing. Tanya, I incorporated boobs into the podcast.
She did. Off
Who's
we
a rebel
go.
now?
And yet completely decently. Because I'm, it's all good. So anyway, The Mama Vertebrae by Kelly Brooker out of Bernat Softy Chunky in the Fern
I was
colorway.
like, I recognize that green.
You do, because you made a baby blanket out of it.
And you have a crap ton of it.
I bought this in Millen bags back when we had a Zellers.
Each bag gives you a ball, 2 balls of
It's
it
a
this
pound.
big.
It's a pound.
It's huge.
Each bag is a pound.
Yeah.
So I had 17 bags of
Which is
green
a half a kilo.
and 21 bags
Of the orange.
of the orange. I have a lot of this yarn.
So are you making it into a striped cardigan, or it's just going to be green?
Because the orange is really bright, and the orange and the green together would
Gee,
not suit
green
me.
and
Torn
orange.
Gable. It will be a Torn Gable cardigan.
Maybe I will make a ginormous torn gable out of it then. But, because I have lots. I'll have lots left over after the sweater, trust me. So, I am doing it in bulky instead of heavy worsted because I didn't have enough worsted in any one color, and I didn't want to stripe it. Plus, most of my worsted is Red Heart Super Saver. I'm not going to wear Red Heart Super Saver. I don't make clothing out of Red Heart Super, not even for babies. I mean, that's, ugh, no. I make blankets out of it, but not clothing. And this is on size, I never did figure out what needle size it was. Did I? Yes, I did, because these are 9s. It is 5.5 millimeters, which is US 9. And these are my Crystal Palace needles that I bought when I was desperate one day and didn't have any needles and went across the street to Wabi Sabi and bought needles. So, that's it for that. I did this in a Farley. I forgot my blanket, so I guess we're not going to talk about it.
Alrighty.
I put a couple of squares on my mitered square blanket, but I forgot it at home.
I forgot some stuff at home too, which we won't talk about. Now, good for you for keeping, you're keeping that yarn and you're actually using it.
Oh yeah.
I just gave a friend whose aunt knits for charity constantly. I just gave her a whole bunch of stuff in my stash, even a sweater quantity. I know.
You gave up
Which
a
sweater quantity?
It was a gray mohair that I had bought at the store over here when it was going out of business. And I had tried different...
That's like 8 years ago.
Not quite, but almost.
Yeah.
So I had tried swatching with it, lots of different things, and it just wasn't speaking to me. And then I thought, you know what? If she can make something with it, that would be great.
If your yarn doesn't speak to you.
Well, I've just,
Mine yells at me.
It's great if it yells at you. Knit me. But
It
this
shouts
just...
at me in the middle of the night.
It just wasn't. So I gave that, and as well as some other yarns. I thought, you know what? They've been in my stash for that long, and they haven't become anything yet. Even though I've looked at them and I thought, what can I make with them? I think they need to go to somebody else.
Well, that's like those bags that I gave to you for your kids' school.
Yeah, exactly.
I got rid of all of the acrylic and unwanted yarns.
Well, see, I do crochet blankets for Linus, Project Linus, and I crochet hats and stuff for the homeless shelter and stuff like that. So
it's
I
good
use
to have
my
that
acrylics.
stash. Yeah.
Yes, all my impulse purchase yarn when I was first learning to knit, I actually have use for. So most of it I keep. It's only when I get, like, this one lady gave me this huge garbage bag full of yarn for charity knits. I knew it started with a C. I woke up like an hour and a half ago, so don't mind me. And so there were some things in there that were so plasticky that there was no way I was going to knit with them.
Yeah.
So those I donated. Some went to my daughter's school. Some went to my mother's church knitting group. A very large basket of cotton dishcloth yarn that I've discovered that I really hate knitting dishcloths.
Oh, you brought that with you.
I brought that with me last week, 2 weeks ago when I went to Toronto. Well, to Chicago, and I dropped it off at Tanya's house because she is making a cotton mitered square blanket. So I grabbed all the colors I had, and off it went. So
cool.
Tanya now has a lot of cotton.
So speaking of stashing and destashing, are we ready to move on to
I
stash?
think so.
Oh,
I'm not involved in this section, so
You don't have any stash?
I have no stash.
Well, stash, not stash.
This is spinning.
Finished spinning my Knitting color. This was Bloodlust, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. I don't have the tag anymore, but I'm pretty sure it was Bloodlust, and I posted it on Instagram, and maybe Sarah can tell me if that's what it is. But it ended up being 3.3 ounces, and that's my spinning.
Sarah is at Maryland.
That cool?
This week.
Yeah.
So is this your first official spinning plied in the whole shebang?
No.
Okay.
No, I've done some before, but it did.
It's the first one on the e-spinner, though.
Yes. First one on the e-spinner. I did some practicing, and then I took this out and just went, I'm going for it. So that's that. And so I can't wait to pull something else out and start spinning, because now I've got it.
Yeah, you do. You've got it.
So now that we're done with on the wheel,
Oh, that was on the wheel.
Yes.
We're going on to Stitch Talk.
Yeah, and
start?
I added something in there. I added that my kids bought me a Fitbit for
Cool.
Mother's Day. Why I put it there, I don't
Which
know.
is tomorrow. Happy Mother's Day to
You
all the
should've
mothers
seen-
out there, by the way.
You should have seen my son. I was like, Sue's kids bought her a Fitbit. And he's like, I'm not buying you a Fitbit. I'm like, I don't want you to buy me a Fitbit, but a card would be nice.
My kids
Something.
also are both working.
Yeah.
And I may or may not have purchased a new sewing machine.
It was on sale at Costco. What's a girl to do?
Sorry, regular price at Costco. It was $169.
Canadian.
No, $179. Yeah, Canadian. And it
So about
is
$100 American.
it is a Singer heavy duty. The model number is 4452, and that is an early birthday gift from my husband. So I was at Costco the other day, and I sent him a picture, and he's like, "Okay," that was his reply. And then a few days later, I'm like, I really want that. Can that be my birthday gift? And he's like, "Sure. Find the money on whatever account you can of ours, and do it. And then when your birthday comes, the money I have set aside will go on one of those."
So, have you tried it?
Yes, I hemmed my husband's new golf shirt. I hemmed my jeans, and I took my jeans in because I wear men's jeans, and they tend to be a little too wide, like from just above the knee to all the way down. And so that is my Stitch Talk. And are we having issues?
I'm having issues. So that's your Stitch Talk?
Yep.
All right. So the only thing is that now I got to show my stuff, which is
Well,
over
here,
there.
I'll wind.
Yeah,
It's unwinding and
Yes.
whatevering and... Oh, really?
Yes, I'll wind.
Thank you. So, I have made a few bags. I've been experimenting some more. So, I made my first... This is my first... Not my first wedge bag, but my first wedge bag that I'm really happy with. It worked out really, really well. I showed it on Instagram already. I did some top stitching down here. The zipper works well.
you put yours really close. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, you think that's close? I did some top stitching at the top, but I've got some fun yellow fabric inside. But the thing that I'm most proud about is that there's a pocket inside.
Yep.
So
And it's
I'm
a
looking.
canvasy type.
Yeah, it's sort of a
Very
thick,
light canvas.
yeah, I did put a little bit of interfacing in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really proud.
It's
The
nice.
top stitching's a little on the wonky side on one side, but
Mhm.
overall, really proud. The only thing was that I had made a little handle and completely forgot to put it in. So, it doesn't have a handle.
You were so excited about the pocket.
I was so excited and absorbed in finishing this, and I'm really happy with
This
it.
is going to make an insane square. These are very short color repeats.
And then I made myself another, and I'm actually working on a second one for a gift. Another drawstring bag that's sort of a sock size, and I'm really in love with this fabric. And I think I just bought a
I
fat
was going to
quarter.
say that's pretty much Selma in a bag.
It really is. I'm so in love with that fabric. I bought a fat quarter, and I think I'm going back to the store to buy more. I think I want to make a tote bag or something out of it. It's just so incredibly, well, in my opinion anyway, beautiful.
In my opinion.
In my opinion. If
Sorry.
anybody watches The Good Wife, I can't say in my opinion without thinking
No,
about
one
The
of the
Good Wife
judges
anymore.
always says, "In your opinion."
In your opinion, and the lawyers are like, in my opinion. So, and I put a fabric inside there that's sort of a lighter kind of grayish lavender color that I actually bought at a sale last week, the sale that Sue and I went to. And that was one of the fabrics I bought specifically to put into that bag. And then the last time I was on, I showed you some Marimekko fabric that my aunt had brought me, which is quite loud as fabric goes. So I made a bag.
But still very you.
Yeah, I made this for my mum, actually. My mother loves pink and yellow. And so I've made this bag, which is a tote bag, for my mother, for Mother's Day.
Now you can see why she's not knitting.
So it's
She's
just,
been
it's
busy.
quite a large bag that she can wear as
We
a tote
really got to
bag.
get her spinning. She will just take off
I
and
am
fly.
not going to spin.
Yes, you are.
I am not going to spin.
Yes, you are. You said you were going to sew, too.
You're quite right. I used to say I hated sewing. I used to also say I hated rats. And look at that. Now I love rats and I love sewing.
So, spinning it is.
It's not going to happen.
Yes, it is.
It's not going to happen.
We'll see what happens at Rhinebeck.
So I put a yellow interior. I put a bright pocket for my mom because my mother's visually impaired. So I wanted her to be able to see the pocket really easily.
She will see that.
And so I hope she likes it.
It's really nice. I needed some top stitching here.
I did some top stitching along here.
Yep.
And yeah. So she'll be getting this tomorrow
Beautiful.
on Mother's Day. I hope so. You know what I did? This is upholstery fabric. There's an upholstery store near my house.
We need to go there.
I went in one day and I said, do you sell your fabrics? And they said, yeah, we do, but you can also go through a pile of leftovers from projects they've had. And so I found some nice sort of, actually it was a gray, yellow, and cream colored fabric. And I said, oh, how much do you want for this? And it was you know, a good piece like that. And she said, oh, $1. I was like, okay, so I took it. And then the other day I went in again and I saw this fabric and there was quite a lot of it. And it's sort of a gray, kind of woolly, tweedy
Almost tweedy,
type.
yeah.
And I said, oh, how much would you like for that? He goes, just take it. I'm like, can I give you $1? No, just take it. I was like, oh, well, thank you.
You're going to be frequenting that shop a lot.
Oh,
will you?
dear. Well, I would feel bad if they were always giving me stuff for free because I was quite happy to pay $1 for it. I thought he was going to say, like, give me $5, and I was going to say, $1. But anyway, so I came out with wonderful fabric that I put with this bag. And those are the things that I've been sewing on.
Sorry, I'm dropping things.
And then I'll just quickly show you.
Sorry, I'm sitting on your sweater.
I'll quickly show you the pile of fabrics that I got at the sale last week that Sue and I went to. I got all kinds of, this woman was selling actually leftover shirts. When her husband's shirts are no longer wanted, she turns them into bits of fabric. So I got this gingham one.
I plan on raiding my dad's shirts at some point because my dad has a collection of shirts in the basement that he hasn't worn for at least 20, 30 years.
Vintage.
But they're all still hanging up in the downstairs in the laundry room, and I plan on raiding that at some point.
When you start sewing.
When I start sewing, yes. My mother and I have have a plan.
So I got that. I got with some more sort of a lavender colored fabric and some orange, which apparently is a Cafe Facet pattern. This other.
That's very non-Cafe Facet, actually.
Yeah, although the woman said it was, but this one is.
That's more like it.
And this is a yard and a half. I got it for $3.
Nice.
And and I got some denim. The one that I'm quite in love with, and I'm going to make myself a Christmas bag, is this beautiful Scottish tartan fabric. The woman had a huge amount with this other Scottish floral fabric, and I'm going to be making myself a Christmas project bag for that. And what else did I get? There were some other ones.
Hey, that is almost identical to the colors
Yes,
in the one
the
I
little
got.
blue. And then I got this one, and actually,
Oh, that's so pretty.
I was thinking that my daughter might like, like a skirt or something out of this.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I haven't actually showed it to her.
That would make
yet.
a really cute little sundress.
Yes, wouldn't it? So we'll see if I get there. By the time, I hope I don't get there by the time she's outgrown, because it's a good size fabric. It's
really pretty.
4 times that, so there should be enough for something for her. And I'm planning on taking a skirt making course
That's a good idea.
at Daryl Thomas. And they give a course where they do a muslin and the invisible zipper, and it's a nice sort of straight skirt, which is the one piece of clothing that I would really like to learn. And I saw this fabric at the sale, and I'm gonna make a skirt out of this. So this was like $5, and there's like tons of it.
I think my first project is going to be a short table runner for the top of my dresser.
That'll make a nice bag
Yeah,
too.
It would make a nice bag too, but I think it'll make a nice skirt.
Oh, definitely.
So, like, it's kind of bold but kind of subtle at the same time.
Yeah.
And a $5 skirt. That's what I want. So,
Cool.
those were the pile of fabrics that I got.
Because you should be like, oh, should I get that? Yep. Oh, should I get that? Yep.
We did say no to quite a few things, though.
Yes. I wasn't getting anything
No.
until you were getting that shirt fabric, and I looked over to the next table and box on the floor and saw the TARDIS fabric, and I flipped. I'm like, Selma, I need money. I purposefully did not bring money.
Selma provided some money.
Yeah. So.
Thank you.
So, should we do this?
I think we should.
Yes, I want to actually have a look at this because I only saw it on TV.
I'm
So
super excited because I know who won.
this was a present from the Yarn It person.
Kate.
There you go. And this bag is gorgeous.
Yep.
It's a gorgeous project bag, and there's
she on her site. She now has them in a bunch of different colors to match the bases.
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, ooh,
Yeah, I know.
And there's a handle for the Yarn It,
That's,
like a
that's
strap rather.
Yeah.
And the base, the little scissors and stuff. Nope, wrong way. Here.
Oh, sorry. You know how to use
The
these
base
things.
is loaded that she sells. Everything in the there's stitch markers and scissors.
And needles.
Yeah.
We have stitch markers, the little rainbow scissors that we showed last week, a darning needle.
Yeah.
This
so,
is an awesome bag.
and this
Oh my goodness, they're little frog stitch markers.
this was
Sorry.
sent to us because she was competing on QVC, which is a shopping network.
Yes.
Her and 2 other products. So what we did is we asked you to go vote, come back and tell us you voted and you got entered to win this prize.
Yep.
And so I did the random number generator before the girls got here, and my jaw dropped when I picked the number. Literally dropped. So who wants to tell her?
I think we should all tell her.
So guess who won?
Crystal!
Crystal, you give and you receive.
It was post number 6.
Amazing.
Crystal, who is Chris5797, and she's a good friend of ours, and she deserves it.
Shall I deliver it?
Yes, you shall.
Okay.
There you go.
Crystal, I'm coming over this week.
Congratulations,
really great.
Crystal.
I like the bag.
I'm going to keep it in my car so it doesn't
I
get
want one of
covered
the
in cat
bags.
hair.
The bag
They're
is awesome.
$24.
It's a
I
great
think
bag.
so,
US?
24 US.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
If
because
she's
I'm a
at-
bad podcaster, I didn't even mention the bags I had.
If she's at Stitches, I'm probably going to get one.
This is what my blanket square is living in. This is the bag that Selma made me. Isn't it pretty?
Yeah.
Because
And I
it
would
kind
make-
of matches.
I made a similar one for my friend Dana.
Look at
out
you
of this
being all
fabric.
matchy lately.
It does match.
I've been copying Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Canadian there. She
Maybe
likes
that
to
should
match
be
her
my
project
goal.
bags to her project.
Make bags to match all the things.
That's
No,
living
you
in there,
can.
but I
I
wanted
could.
to.
I
I
don't
wanted
think
to
I
mention
will,
the
but-
bags because I felt so bad. Last week I showed this bag, and Brandy was like, "Oh my God, did I send it that wrinkly? Did I send it all full of cat hair?"
No, you explained in the
sweetie, you didn't.
podcast that you
Um,
shoved it in a bag.
Well, I shoved it in the bag, and that's why it was wrinkly. Like I literally scrunched it up and shoved it in a bag. But it has been on the floor at Sue's house. It has been on the floor at my house. It has been on the floor at Knit Night.
And both
We
of
all
our-
have animals. So no, it's not full of cat hair from Brandy's house, because Brandy has 4 cats. It's not full of cat hair from Brandy's house. She did lint roll it before she sent it
I was
to
going
me.
to say, I lint roll
This
everything
is
before
all
it goes
my
out.
cat, because my cat sees a new bag and literally rolls all over it. Yes. Like, it's nuts. The second she sees something new, she's got to roll all over it. My cats are crazy.
Yep. Most cats are crazy.
So, yes, Brandy does not send out dirty bags.
No, I can attest to that, Brandy.
She was kind of horrified. She was like, oh my God.
I hope you like it.
I do.
So, other people have stash.
Okay. Go, my dear.
Oh, because... Oh my gosh.
How did you feel watching us last week?
I was like, oh my gosh.
She walks into the office and she's like, you started with stash.
Yes,
and I
we
was just
did.
thinking, I guess there'd be no place for me to sit even if I had been there.
The box literally took up this whole
I should have
space.
taken a picture because you couldn't move.
Yeah.
I
There
mean,
was
this
a
isn't a very
huge
big
box in
space,
front of
but
me.
Jeepers creepers,
And all that
man.
fabric is now at my mother's house with her stash.
So I may as well start with that, hey?
Yes.
So what came to me, I'm very pleased to say, actually fit in the bag that Brandy gave me.
Barely.
It's
Yeah.
so beautiful, Brandy. Thank you. It's exciting.
It's super pretty.
It is. Because I was like, oh my gosh, how much stuff is coming my way.
Just a few things.
So this bag came.
Selma doesn't have a very big house.
And the yarn closet is full. So first there was the prize that I'd won through the winter camp, which is great fun.
Which is really pretty. And almost identical to the yarn that I gave away. Which I still need to ship. Sorry.
And this is by Serena Nicole. And it's hand-dyed yarn, and this is called Ain't No Sunshine. Now, it doesn't say what the composition is of it or what weight, but it feels like wool.
Yeah.
And
It doesn't say anything.
yeah.
No.
But you can look that up on Rav. It'll say.
And in there were some stitch markers. That's laugh
Oh,
and a
so
heart,
cute.
which I really, really like.
It's hard to see. The camera's not close enough.
And then these skein earrings. Let's see if I can put them in front of me there.
Put them a little bit lower and it looks like they're hanging out of your nose.
Well, there you go.
Because I'm 5.
And then Andrea, who's the cat lady, had made
Pouches.
tea pouches. I love these with tea inside, which is going to disappear very quickly. And a black cat magnet. I need to show this to my daughter because she could make some of these too. She likes this.
The perler beads.
Yeah, what are they called?
Who
It's
was
got-
it that made a huge perler bead project?
Well, Brandy's planning a really big one.
Somebody posted a picture of one though, right?
Ah.
Yeah.
This stuff is
Don't ask
fantastic.
me.
We've had lots of fun. I've made like Christmas ornaments out of it, and
Mine
there
was the
are
Hulk. I
teas
love
in
my
there, and a whole bunch of candies. There's a little bit gone already, but more will be disappearing.
Yes.
Fun, fun.
Andrea was nice to me. She gave you guys candy. She didn't give me any. She's like, "You're not supposed to be eating it." I'm like, "No, I'm not."
And I have to say, like, all the teas that people send, I drink them all. They all disappear.
Yep.
Every night, I put them all in a box, and every night when we're drinking tea, I'm like, which one are we going to have tonight? It's so much
Because
fun.
I've got my tea cupboard with all the teas that I buy, and then I have this one little canister that I got tea in a long time ago, and that canister is full of all the teas that people send me,
Yeah.
and it's now too full.
So Brandy didn't just send a bag. She
Oh, no.
sent a couple of minis and some tea, which
The
is
salted
awesome.
caramel one sounds amazing.
Ooh,
Yeah,
caramel vanilla.
and then there's salted caramel.
Mmm. And a couple of magnets.
They're needle keepers for cross stitch.
Oh, is that what they are?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, so smart.
And let me tell you, those magnets are strong.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are they ever?
I was gonna make you some, and I asked
Oh.
her, I'm like, where do you get the supplies and how do you do it? She's like, dude, send me the pictures. I'll make some.
And they're lovely. It's got a
Yeah.
flower. I haven't brought in my cross stitching for a while. That's because it's kind of been hibernating a little bit, but
Yeah, because sewing.
yeah. But these are awesome. Thank you, Brandy. Well, they're not coming apart because they really
Nope.
like each other.
I had mine on my lap, so one here, and they snapped together, and
And went flying. It was
oh,
hilarious.
they just flew.
And then there were minis from Sarah, who is the Canadian knitter, which are awesome. I love this yellow
Mm-hmm.
and this colorful one.
That's the one I'm knitting right now.
And I think they're going to come out right away because
They
they're
go-
balls already. So this
She
is awesome.
says she can tell us what they are. So
And
Yeah.
they're kind of the colors for your daughter's blanket, except the brown.
Absolutely. Oh,
even
no.
Even the brown would
And
go.
you know what
brown.
I like? I'm gonna have enough soon for another pair of Frankensocks. Because I don't know if it's
You probably have enough in that bag for another pair.
well.
of
Once I've
blankets.
used them all up, and then this was from Tanya.
Yes.
Thank you, Tanya. Lots of fantastic colors in here, with lots of teas. You know what? There was a really interesting flavor. These are these 4 o'clock teas, which Lynn has talked about. Cucumber mint.
Yeah, I didn't buy that one because I didn't think I'd like it.
Well, I'm really intrigued. I'm really curious to see what it's like.
Because I know me and I'm not big on cucumber flavored things. I like cucumber itself, but not cucumber flavor.
And linden tea. Thank you.
Because that's very
Yeah.
Scandinavian.
It is.
Lindenberry,
And actually, Alejandro has his mother, I don't know why, because we can buy it here, but bring linden in bulk from Uruguay.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a flower, right?
Yeah.
Linden flower.
You
okay.
drink the tea, you drink the leaves and the flowers.
Okay.
So, I think that's it for that. Thank you for that. Yeah, this is kind of a bad week. Now I have bad.
She was a
well,
tiny
good.
bit overwhelmed.
Bad, good. It was a pretty big stash
Heavy
acquisition.
week, yes.
Well, it's been a
Well,
couple
these
of
are the
weeks
ones
since
you're
I've been
using
on. Now, we had ordered some yarn from England. I completely forgot that at home, so I will be able to show that next time, and hopefully that will be my only stash.
Sorry. Not sorry.
Then Seattle Sky Dye Works sent us yarn, and I chose this really beautiful gray.
Because I knew she would.
And you know what? I don't have a lot of gray yarn.
She's
I
gray
really don't.
everything else.
Although, my next stash, I'll show you. There's
I was
gray
going to say,
in it,
historically, you have knit a lot of gray things.
but I don't actually have a lot of gray in my stash.
That's because you use it.
Maybe. So this one's called Fairy Frost.
Oh, yours is different. Oh.
Yeah.
What was yours?
Mine didn't have the yellow. Like, it didn't have the yellowish tinge to it.
I don't see
And it
yellow.
was...
Yours is silk.
And this one's a merino silk.
Yeah, mine was.
And it's coming
different.
up quite blue on there, but I would say it's a little bit more steel.
Yeah.
In real life.
Blue steel.
Now, last night at Wabi Sabi, which is a local yarn store,
I was supposed
went
to go.
all by myself.
Because I was supposed to go, forgot to put it in my calendar, and then
planned a date night.
hubby got really good tickets at a VIP theater, and yeah, I'm sorry.
She went to see Eye Candy
So
instead.
there was a trunk show at Wabi Sabi that was for Julie Asselin yarns, because Julie Asselin is in town. She gave in an indigo dyeing workshop yesterday, and today they're doing an acid dye workshop. And so they
really wanted to go to, but
I really wanted to go to. Now she does come once or twice a year, so she will come again.
yes.
And then next
She's
time
not far. She's in
we
Montreal.
just have to be organized.
Well, outside of Montreal, but anyway, she's not
Hey,
far.
we should go to Montreal and do a workshop there. Anyway, road trip.
And then we can hit what the heck's the name of that yarn store?
Moulinet.
Yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one in
I haven't
Montreal I want to check out. I forget the name
there are
of
a
it.
few good ones in Montreal.
And maybe we can
Road
pop by and
trip.
see Sarah and the baby.
Maybe we can. So anyway, I went last night by myself because she forgot, and we had to give a $20 deposit, which we could then use towards yarn. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm buying yarn now. So I thought, all right,
Darn.
I had gotten.
I gave her ideas what to spend mine on.
Kathy, do you remember giving this to me? This is the Tanis Fiber Arts. What color was the label? I've lost the label, so I don't know. It was the Cashmerino, the MCN base, and this was in the Julep colorway. And ever since I got this, I was like, I really want to use this with something. And then I started thinking, I want to make the exploration station with this as one of the colors. So my thinking last night was, I want to come home with an exploration station.
So she did.
So I chose this speckled gray and black by Riverside Studios, who's a local dyer here.
That we saw the week
Canadian.
before.
Canadian.
That we saw last week.
We saw last week when we went in briefly after the fabric sale, and I'd seen this, and I kept thinking about it. So yesterday I went, oh, do you still have that salt and pepper one? And they did. So I'm going to put that with this. And then I wanted a slightly darker gray. So this is a Julie Asselin in her MCS, which is Merino Cashmere Silk base in the Shining Armor colorway. So I've got two grays, a darker and a lighter with the green. And then I was like, there was a nice golden yellow and there was a nice purple. And I ended up going for the purple, which is in the Fino as well, in the Macaron colorway, which is kind of a purple. So I am going to end up with an exploration station that looks like that. I hope it's nice.
Which is very you.
Yeah.
Now, when I was at Twist with Sue, I had bought in the D-Stash this piece fleece that I had shown you guys. And we had made a pom-pom, and I thought this is going to go together. This purple pom-pom, which is coming out more blue on there, but it's a little bit more lilac-y, with this mint green. And now I'm thinking,
she's going to have a matching set?
I'm going to have, it's a little bit, the piece fleece is a little bit earthier, but I'm pretty much,
It'll be on your head.
it's got purple flecks in it, and so this is going to be next winter's
That's from your pom-pom, sorry.
Oh, this is going to be next winter's -20 set. When it's crazy cold.
Yeah, because brioche is pretty warm, eh?
Yeah, and it's going to be a big
goofy,
shawl
it's like
that I'll be
money.
able to wrap around a lot, and then this hat will be really warm, and so that will be it.
My daughter wants a keychain out of the fur.
Oh,
It
yeah.
won't last very long.
I know. That's why I haven't made it yet.
So anyway, I'm really excited. I'm finally happy to have found the colors to go with this mint green, because I really didn't have anything at home that was going to work with it, and so I thought if I'm going to buy yarn, that's what it's going to go towards.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. Please, is that it?
I don't know.
Oh, no, it's not. Only one more thing. There's a sock swapper, I think it's called the Sock Swappers group on
Isn't it
Ravelry.
the stashless sock swap?
No, I think it's just called the Sock
Or
Swappers.
swapless swap? There's is it the one on Facebook?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's on
different.
Ravelry.
Sorry,
And
different one.
basically you order usually 20 mini skeins from 5 gram mini skeins, or sometimes they have 10 gram mini skeins from different dyers. So I got one last time from Aloha, the Aloha dyer, and this time I got it from Dyed in the Wool.
You need to link me to that.
Well, I have to be honest, I probably won't do this again with the shape of our dollar right now because it came quite expensive.
Yeah, I was going to get into one of those on Facebook, and it's called the Swapless one. And yeah.
But I have to say, when the Aloha one came, I was slightly disappointed. There was something about the colors that they were nice, but it didn't really do a lot for me. I like every single mini in this one. They are just really, really beautiful. Yep. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Really lovely colors and nicely put together. And it's not that the Aloha ones weren't nice, they just weren't really speaking to me. A really great variety. And it came with this legend of all the yarns.
Which is really awesome.
It's really awesome. And I was thinking, gee, which one would I like a whole skein of? Because there's so many that I would love.
Them.
They're beautiful. Really beautiful.
You don't need to eat.
No.
Who needs groceries?
No. But I'm going to keep the legend. And one day when I'm in the mood, I might get a skein of the yarn because it's just really, really lovely colors. Yeah, just so many beautiful colors. So these are also going to be going into my blanket. So I think my daughter's blanket is probably going to end up a queen size. Or I'll have to make a second one. I'm not quite sure. But I've got minis galore, and that also means more Frankensocks. So there we go.
You can
so
always
that's
start
it, man.
putting stuff aside for a wedding blanket for her when she grows up.
Exactly. I could do that. Yeah. So anyway, that's enough stash, man.
That's it.
Don't you think that's enough?
And I've got stash this week.
There actually is more stash, but she left it at home.
That's right.
Because I couldn't go to the thing last night, I basically told Selma to use the money for herself, and she was like, nope. I have a skein of Julia Slay in a light gray. What is it called again?
Birch.
Birch.
In the birch colorway.
And so she got me this, which is called Blue Steel.
This is a DK.
And it's DK.
Yeah.
That, the light gray, and your Torn Gable colors exploration station. You're welcome.
Ah! No, but this is DK, because my thinking was, gee, this would go with her Mara, because you've been trying to get a skein of the Georgia O'Keeffe and Madeline Tosh.
I can't find it.
She cannot find it.
Well, it's out there, just nobody wants to
give it up,
and I can't find it online.
So I thought this, I think, will go with the Mara.
It might. So here, this is this. It's coming out a little blue, but it's a blue steel.
Bluer than it is, yeah.
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 Oh, I didn't realize it was DK. Cool.
Yeah, so I was like, you could make a hat and possibly some fingerless mitts.
Now you're making me think. No, see, she wants me to finish the Torn Gable. We're not going to get into that. And even though I wasn't there,
yeah, okay,
I won a bag.
Ah, she wasn't there. I'm walking around. I hear somebody go, Suzanne Gates. I'm like, don't tell me she won something. She wins every time. Now,
Sorry.
I also won something in the winter camp. Sorry, but it just blows me away.
Sorry.
I think we should just all buy a lottery ticket with her if we're in a gambling kind of mood.
I bought some stitch markers.
You don't buy lottery tickets.
Nope.
You should consider it.
I bought some stitch markers from Sarah, who is Rabbit Ribbit Lamb on Etsy. And this is the malachite stone in this beautiful green.
Yeah, I didn't even get to see that when she bought it.
So I was her first customer, and then
you were also her second customer.
Yes, and then yesterday I saw this other set of green ones, and I was like, "Oh, I should have got those." And she's like, "Well, I can send them. You can send the other ones back." And I'm like, "No, I've already bought them, so they're coming.
They're mine." It's like nobody else can have those.
Yeah, so they're really nice. I really like them.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, and she sent some tea, which I've never had before. Puka in the tree berry.
I'm curious. Can I read the back of that? Because I've never seen this. And it's interesting. Like, there's a store near my house that has puka, but they don't have. Like, I don't think I've ever seen this three-berry one.
Not
three-berry. Yeah, it's elderberry, blueberry, and blackberry. Ooh. Doesn't that sound interesting?
That sounds amazing.
And she sent me a note, and part of it said, "I'm glad I get to see you on your podcast because I miss your laugh. We had such fun on our trip last year."
Because you guys went to
We
Chicago.
went to Stitches together.
Yeah, that was an amazing trip. They are very good travel buddies. Yeah. And if they can handle our crazy.
Guys, decide when you want to go to Chicago this summer. Because Rob wants you to come back.
Wait,
So
when was
that.
that? When was that again? What weekend?
Stitches is the
First week.
weekend in August, the long week. Is it
No,
the
it's
long
after
weekend?
the long
It's after
weekend.
the long weekend.
Right.
And
So
then
this year it's the 4th to the 7th.
Yeah.
I think.
and then I bought myself Hayas. And then I saw these cute little DPN holders. And I thought they were so cute and I wanted you to have them.
Aww.
Because I don't use
They are
DPNs.
adorable.
I couldn't
Oh,
say no.
You can have like 4 DPNs.
5.
5. I had to get them. They were just so cute.
Very cute little sheep.
Yeah.
Little sheeps.
And then,
We
They were
buy
just
sheeps for each other all the
Too
time.
cute.
yeah, I forgot the ring that I bought my daughter. It's in my bedroom.
The ring
Yeah.
she bought her daughter is in her bedroom.
Yeah, because I wore it
She hasn't-
maybe
Oh.
once.
Everything is interchangeable in this house.
I needed an orifice hook that I could hang off of my e-spinner. And I went to a shop
I have to
called...
tell you that when you said that, I was like, orifice.
Yeah,
hook.
shush.
You'll learn it all when you start spinning.
I won't
I-
be spinning.
Yes, you will.
I went to a shop online,
I'll bring my wheel.
which she was really, really good. It's called The Perfect Heist. And I bought this orifice
It's
hook.
just beautiful.
Don't mind the fluff.
No.
It's like a piece of jewelry.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
They bought me a glass one last year.
I find this part a little long, but no, it'll work. And then she added this little stitch marker. It's like a little
Just
brown
tiger eye.
stone.
It's tiger eye.
Yeah. So that was cute. And the ring, I will post a picture of the ring.
Which is also kind of in the orangey brown.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Sort of.
And then Selma gave me some fabric,
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
some Halloween fabric.
Sarah, look.
And then she gave me this one, which
Do you need to make Sarah a bag of that Halloween fabric?
I don't know.
Well, Sarah might want to buy one.
And
I don't
then
know.
there's this Mardi Gras fabric, which I thought was just
That's Mardi Gras.
Mm-hmm. It
That's what
says
it
Mardi
says.
Gras on it.
Weird. I mean, it's Mardi Gras colors, but peacock feathers.
And then I scored about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago. I saw this on Instagram.
I really wanted to see this in person.
Stacy from Mustache posted this, and I was shocked that there was still some in her shop 4 hours later. And I looked at my PayPal account.
I've never seen anything stay in Stacy's
I know.
shop.
That's what
that
I would.
long.
Yeah, I was just, and there was 2 different colors. There was the Ray colorway, this colorway,
The yarn
then-
harlot must have
and
been
then a
busy that
combination.
day.
And so my husband doesn't know this.
So beautiful.
I bought the
Andrea, look.
BB-8 colorway.
It is so. And Sarah, all orange lovers, look.
Yes, but Andrea is specifically
Star Wars.
obsessed with BB-8.
And
It's
like
really beautiful.
she made the labels. So after the
Okay, I don't normally
Wait,
do this.
did she actually put Star Wars on the labels? Yes, she did. In their font. Be very careful. Because Disney's really good at going after people for stuff like that.
Anyway.
It's beautiful texture. I
Don't
have
doubt.
to say this.
so
yarn.
after I finish his Boba Fett color socks, which are Star Wars, I will knit those. It
Really
was funny
beautiful.
because I was sitting at the kitchen table and it was after dinner and I was waiting.
And it's an OCD pack.
Yeah,
Ha!
I was
ha, ha.
waiting for him to leave to walk the dogs, and both my daughter and I are just sitting at the table going,
They're two
"Is
two
he gone
strands.
yet?"
Yeah,
Oh.
it's exactly the same. So that the socks match perfectly.
So
They're
here's-
twisted together, so he doesn't know.
It's beautiful.
He doesn't.
I love the texture of the yarn. It's very
Yeah.
smooth,
But I didn't realize it was the OCD, which is
which is two perfectly matched half skein knit socks.
sprinkle, sprinkle. And then I got my second quarter mini swap package that we're having in our group. And she sent me these, and I haven't eaten them yet because Paradise Fruit Box. They look like gobstoppers.
They're little. Are they?
No, it's chocolate.
It's chocolate.
Oh, okay.
But that's got this candy covering on it that
Okay.
just looks.
No, I
they
thought
look like
maybe it
marbles.
was, marzipan or something.
Ooh, if it was marzipan,
And then
that'd be going down my top.
Yeah.
I got a thing for
No, that'd be
marzipan.
going down your mouth.
some kind
Yeah.
of... These are Mega Blocks?
Yes.
Yeah, so...
These look wonderful.
Minions!
What a shock.
Yeah, I know. And then... Minis, which she sent way too many minis. all the tags are
There
on
is
the
no
back.
such thing as way too many
Yeah,
minis.
and they're like,
Those
I
are big
know.
minis.
I know.
They're maxi minis.
Oh, one is a sparkly. So there's all of these.
Guess which one is Sue's favorite?
Yeah, shush. And it's got sparkle green.
And it's the right green.
Yep.
Oh, I like this one.
Mm-hmm. And then, it's my card.
Nice handwriting.
So, yeah, I know, I saw that. It was really nice. She gave me some fabric because she basically said I had this idea that I wanted to sew, and it's never come to fruition.
You never know, though.
She sent me some fabrics.
I love this one here.
Mm-hmm.
That one is beautiful.
And then the pièce de résistance. She
As
went
if
in,
that wasn't
yeah,
enough.
she went into Deep Stash and found a skein of Mint Rain that she said I could give to somebody, or I could use it as a prize, or whatever. Do whatever I want. Not my colors.
Which is the only reason it's not staying in our
Oh,
stash.
it's beautiful.
So I thought, Brown Bag Sock Club. Why not?
See, when you posted it on the group and you said it wasn't your colors, I thought that it was your yarn that somebody.
No.
Yeah.
No, so
I've always wanted to try Mint Rain, but I didn't know.
it's
Not my
a
colors.
really sort of deep purple, light pink, and
It came up pretty
fuchsia.
good on it. It came up. It's coming up pretty
And
well.
I still haven't decided which one of the Wool Barn skeins should become a sock
Well,
club
you
thing.
can have this
So
one.
this time, this is going to become a sock club.
And I
And
think
it's very summery colors, so it's very.
Yeah,
So
and-
it's apropos. The blue and the bluey purpley one in here is just
well, and I
beautiful.
think are they?
Kind of makes me think of Jacaranda.
I think if I use my
a little
stitch
bit
markers,
darker.
I could make a matching set of snaggle stitch markers to go with it.
Awesome. There we go.
And
So
I
we've
think
got our
There's a very,
size.
very excited bird outside.
Yeah. And yeah,
Holy cow! Jeez,
think
and
that's
she didn't
it.
even have anything.
Nope,
Oh
none for
my
me.
goodness.
Well, I had it all last week.
ooh, it's melting. I must eat those.
Yep.
So
that was it for stash.
yes,
And
I think we're done.
all of our stuff.
That's pretty much it.
And yeah. Do we have coupon codes?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we have our two
Which
ongoing.
we've forgotten the last two podcasts.
Yes, we have our ongoing coupon codes. Bags by Awesome Granny. 10% off ongoing coupon code, and it's 2TS10.
10. Number 2, TS10.
Mhm.
They'll be at the bottom of the screen. And we have Carrie Lynn of Freckled Whimsy.
Sorry?
Is it?
No.
I'm sorry. It's 6 Munchkin Stitching. I do that
Mhm.
all the time. I mix them up. I'm sorry. So 6 Munchkin Stitching also has a 10% off ongoing coupon code with no expiry date, and it is 2 Tangled 10. The word 2 Tangled 10.
And it's funny that you mentioned Carrie Lynn because I fell down in her shop a couple days ago.
So I fell down a couple of weeks ago.
And,
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to fall down.
Yeah, she
your
posted.
turn.
She posted these green, like different colored bags with different colored sheep on them, and mine are green. And she's like, yeah, I had you at green.
Pretty much. So Carrie, we're sending Selma over.
Oh, believe me, I've been looking.
I'm going to have 3
It's
of her
already
bags.
it's already on the.
Oh, yeah.
I'll find it. Don't worry about it.
So now that will be my 3rd one because the last time I fell down, it was a Christmas bag with green foxes on it.
Just before we go, what you drinking? Because that's one of your hubbies, isn't it?
That's not what I'm drinking, but
Oh.
this is, they started selling Mill Street in Quebec because Labatt's bought them. No, that's for her
So
to take home.
it's not one of your hubbies.
No.
This is
Never mind. We
a
Scottish
bottle
heavy.
of beer that I haven't opened yet.
By the way, this one has been aged for over a year.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So, Sean, her hubby, makes beer. Really good beer, I have to say. And the wee Scottish heavy is one that I've
Yeah.
had before and I really like.
I asked
So
him to
give me
bring
a
up
bottle.
2 bottles because there's a girl at work who's really been helping me out a lot, and she took over my position while I was on sick leave. And she loves dark beers, so I got him to bring up 2. It's a Belgian pumpkin.
If she likes a darker one, then maybe she should have this one.
Oh, maybe. You want to try the Belgian pumpkin?
Absolutely.
Freaking amazing. So he brought
My
up 2.
pumpkins.
Yes, they're your pumpkins that you
I
actually
roasted the pumpkins
roasted
for
them.
him.
Yes, because that's over a year old, the
Yeah.
other one. Yeah.
All
So,
right,
yeah,
let's
I make wine. He
I
makes
have rhubarb
beer.
for him for when the strawberries come out.
Oh, right.
to try the strawberry pumpkin, the
Strawberry
rhubarb
rhubarb.
ale.
Yeah.
It was an idea I had last summer, and I looked it up, and apparently it's been done before. So I was like, "Hey, Sean, want some rhubarb?"
Yeah, no, great idea.
Yeah.
He makes
So.
great beer.
He does.
And I finished my coffee. It's gone.
So,
All
did
the
you
rum
get
is gone?
charged for your...
Yeah, I have this little issue. I drink, this is Second Cup Coffee, which is a Canadian brand, but I have to have lactose-free milk because I've got a lactose intolerance. And I get really irritated that they charge for lactose milk. It's not the only place that does. Starbucks does as well. And they charge at a profit. And that pisses me off.
Yes, because with, 4 coffees, it'll pay off the whole jug of milk?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, lactose-free milk is a little bit more expensive than regular, but they
But not
charge
that much.
70 cents for a coffee, and it's probably about 6 cents more per
It's supposed
coffee.
to be the rule in the second cups, but the second cup at our work, there's only one person who charges her.
Yeah,
None
and
of
I
the other
always
girls.
end up getting it to that woman, and I
Except-
actually sent Second Cup a complaint letter because I was pissed off that she says she's following the rules, that's fine, nobody else in the store charges me, whatever, but basically she's following their rule, and I just think, should not be making a profit on people's stomach problems.
But we did realize when
But
I go
anyway.
with you, you don't get her. So you need me to go with you.
Anyway,
You really
I don't
need
mind
to
them.
take her out to buy a lottery ticket.
I'm telling you, yeah, I don't mind paying the difference, but I really don't think they should be making a profit on their coffee,
Not
not on their special milks.
exactly.
But that's my idea. So I don't go very often. I kind of stopped buying coffee every day because I just thought it just gets ridiculously expensive because
And-
I'm getting a specialty coffee.
You have a French press at
So-
work and tea.
Yeah, so I go once in a while, and on the way here today, I thought I'll go in because I know the girl
Well,
who's in there won't charge me.
I just bought a box of pods, even though I hate them because they're not recyclable. But I want to buy a thing of that flavored cream, so I can bring some pods to work. But I bought a box of pods for my son.
Anyway, there's our beverage stories for the day.
Buy the refillable ones. It's way cheaper.
Refillable pods?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just it's for the ease for him.
Yeah. He works in a coffee shop. He knows how to clean coffee out of a filter.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I do have the.
We're babbling.
It's yeah.
Yes, we are.
Never mind. All right. Yeah, hour and a half in.
Happy Mother's Day
Sorry.
Happy Mother's Day.
to those of you that are mothers.
I'm going to plant my tuchus on the couch out there, and I ain't do nothing all day.
And I'm going to Pearl Jam tomorrow night.
Oh, right. So jealous. Bring home Eddie for
I'm supposed to bring Eddie Vedder home.
please.
Let's see if I can.
Or a piece of him. Part of his clothing, his sweat.
One hair.
His sweat. I don't care. Spit on a towel. No,
yeah,
just kidding.
friends got me ticket to go
You
with
brought
them.
me Leonard Nimoy's DNA.
What is that from?
Big Bang Theory.
Oh.
Penny brought Sheldon a napkin that Leonard Nimoy had used, and he says, "No, you don't understand what this means. I have his DNA. We can clone him."
My husband would get that because I don't watch it.
All right. Have a great one, everybody.
All right. Bye.
Bye.